Bruce Lee. The name alone evokes strength, mystery, and immortality. But when workers opened his tomb after 52 years, what they found wasn't just shocking. It rewrote the final chapter of a legend the world thought it already knew. Born in San Francisco's Chinatown in 1940, Bruce was named Jun-fan, meaning return again. And throughout his life, he did just that. Whether it was to martial arts, philosophy, or film, Bruce Lee returned, evolved, and transformed. Raised in the bustling streets of Hong Kong, Bruce was no stranger to conflict. Despite coming from a privileged background as the son of a Chinese opera star, he found himself in frequent street fights. These weren't just childhood scraps. They were the spark that led him to Ip Man, the legendary Wing Chun master who reshaped his life. By the age of 18, Bruce was back in America, this time not as a tourist, but as a teacher. He opened martial arts schools that accepted students of all races, something almost unheard of at the time. This bold move wasn't just about fists and kicks, it was a declaration. One of his first students was Jessie Glover. Another was Linda Emery, his future wife. The young immigrant from Hong Kong was laying the foundation for a revolution. Then came Hollywood. His role as Kato in The Green Hornet introduced him to American TV audiences. But Hollywood didn't make it easy. Bruce was constantly sidelined, offered roles drenched in outdated Asian stereotypes. So he took matters into his own hands, flying back to Hong Kong and producing films that would break records and redefine cinema. The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Enter the Dragon. These weren't just movies. They were cultural milestones. Bruce's philosophy, be like water, resonated far beyond martial arts. But then, at the height of his global rise, tragedy struck. On July 20th, 1973, Bruce collapsed at the apartment of actress Betty Ting Pei. The official cause was cerebral edema, fluid in the brain. But whispers of a more sinister cause never stopped. Some claimed it was an allergic reaction. Others suggested foul play. He was only 32. The world mourned, stunned that someone so strong, so invincible, could vanish so suddenly. Bruce's wife, Linda, made a controversial decision to bury him not in Hong Kong, but in Seattle, the city where they had built their life together. There, at Lakeview Cemetery, fans from around the world began making pilgrimages. The tomb became sacred ground. And in 1993, another name was carved beside his, Brandon Lee, Bruce's son. Another rising star lost too soon, killed in a tragic on-set accident during the filming of The Crow. Two icons, one family, one legacy. But behind the stardom was something even more powerful. Bruce Lee, the philosopher, the boundary breaker. In the 1960s and 70s, when racial tensions ran high, Bruce welcomed students of all backgrounds. He trained African-American martial artists. He stood against stereotypes. He was a mentor to basketball legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And through it all, he kept writing, filling notebooks with thoughts on discipline, adaptability, and purpose. His quote, "Absorb what is useful, reject what is useless, add what is specifically your own," wasn't just about fighting, it was about life. Then came the moment no one expected. Over 50 years after Bruce was laid to rest, the city of Seattle approached Linda Lee. They needed to open the tomb, not to disturb, but to preserve. Linda hesitated. How could she relive the pain? But in the spirit of Bruce, always cooperative, always thinking of the greater good, she agreed. Bruce Lee didn't just live a life worth remembering, he left behind a blueprint for how to live with strength, purpose, and authenticity. His tomb, now fully preserved, is more than a resting place. It's a monument to a man who defied the odds, challenged racism, reshaped cinema, and inspired generations to rise above limits. So now we ask you, what will you carry forward from Bruce Lee's legacy? Let us know in the comments. And remember, the journey never ends.